You're listening to The Pop by Dr. Shané, the Pursuit of Peace podcast, where I'm your host, Dr. Shané Petit of SP Consulting Group, where our mission is to bring your vision to life. Join us as we have various discussions that focus on purpose, vision, strategy, and transformation on this pursuit of peace in our daily lives. Hey there, it's Dr. Shané. Welcome back. So, of course, one of those black folks. That's me, y'all. I'm one of those black folks. And so let's really just dig into this. What am I talking about? I am guilty of working while black. What do you know? Like, I have seriously been through the ringer because I'm black, regardless of the fact that I have my doctorate. So today, again, this doctor, this black doctor, is still considered just one of those black folks. And I'm about to tell you the story. I know you're ready. So let's just dig into it. So I was dealing with a lot of craziness in my job for, let's say, 4 years. 4 years of doing work and not getting paid for it. Y'all know what that's called. Y'all know what that is called. But let's just say I have built a great resume because I knew what was being done. It's what you call indentured service, aka slavery. Okay. I was doing two people's jobs. I was in an acting role. And yes, I have up my air quotes. And when it was all said and done, no matter what, I pushed and pushed and pushed, went into meeting after meeting after meeting and was just like, can I please just get paid for what I do? First of all, the response was, oh, come on, be fair. You've gotten a lot of opportunities and been able to sit in a lot of meetings that you wouldn't have otherwise been able to sit in if I'm letting that one fade into the background because it was a lot of mess, had no weight, and didn't have anything to do with my request to just simply get paid for the work that I was doing. So not only was I being a clinician, I was being an administrator, a systems redesign specialist. I have the certificate. I was doing it at a higher level in the organization for which I worked for when this happened. Over and over again, time and time again. And I had to leave from having a supervisor who was blatantly retaliating against me because I had climbed the ranks without her permission, I guess. She wasn't black. Let me just say that. Yeah, I know some of you may be asking, but no, she wasn't black. And bottom line and long story to that very, very long story that I can't make short is simply the woman got fired. There was proof of her racism. There was proof of her discrimination. And when it's all said and done, it was 100% felt with other people. It was, you were fine until you began to grow past where she was professionally. Moving on. That's not the story I'm telling today. I'm talking about when I was called The Help. Yes. Does anybody remember that movie? Yeah. Does anybody remember the details about that movie? For those that haven't, feel free. Yes, I understand. We're in March. We're not in February. We're in, March. It's not Black History Month anymore. But who cares? I'm black and making history every day, right? Just from living. There you have it. Sorry. Not really sorry. But little caveat, I have to go off on a tangent just a little bit. I want to first say I apologize to those that were looking for this episode last month. But last month was crazy. I went from celebrating my birthday to, unfortunately, trying to deal with grief after the loss of my father at the hands of COVID. We're going to talk about COVID a little later. Before, I would just tell people, stay safe, wash your hands, keep a distance. We're going to talk about COVID in a little bit, another episode, okay? Again, back to the help. If you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and watch it and realize my outrage is real. Regardless, we're not arguing. This is why this isn't a discussion. There's no panel. There's no commentator. Even my son, who's usually my colorful commentator, is not here while I'm recording this. I was literally going to do a typical performance review. And it was typical. I don't know how many of you guys, but you end up in a situation where, halfway through a fiscal year, you're getting a mid-year review. Like, are you performing, fully successfully? Are there any issues that you need to grow in, that you need to do better in, that would allow you to have a stellar performance rating at the end, which, for a lot of people ends in a bonus or not, right? So if I were to tell you that I had PTSD from this particular interaction, I am seriously telling you I had PTSD from this interaction. So let me tell you what happened. What happened was, let me say it better. What had happened was, yes, I'm a doctor, but this is how I feel about this situation. And this is why I'm explaining it to you guys in this fashion, right? So I went for my performance review, and this brought up bad memories for me. The reason why I brought up bad memories was because ultimately, when I first got into the organization and started working with them, I literally was told that I needed to accept a less than excellent, meaning nothing you need to work on, from a supervisor simply because he felt that because he said so, I didn't deserve to have a perfect score. So throughout the year of that review, you may be saying, oh, but when it's all said and done, nobody's perfect. Da, 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 da. Okay. Yes. But throughout the review period, I literally asked this person throughout supervision every week. Because, you have weekly supervision when you're working on your license to become a therapist. Supervision every week. This supervisor literally told me, Shané, you're performing better than a lot of people. I know that you have to get supervision signed off on that you did well, but there's nothing that you need to correct. I'm like, well, thank you. Even though in the back of my head, I was young and I'm like, well, there has to be something I have to improve upon. But he kept saying, no, you're doing everything great. You don't even need supervision, but I'll keep signing off on it and, discussing it with you. Nothing, y'all, nothing ever. Took my notebook and pen, still nothing. And I'm sitting there ready to write. What do I need to work on in order to get the highest, which was like excellent, the highest score on my performance appraisal? Because, I wanted the extra coins, the bonus. So kept asking, got to the performance appraisal. And like I said, this is when I first joined in with this particular company. Got to the performance appraisal and he said, no one's perfect. That's the reason why I didn't give you the higher score, because no one's perfect. Okay. All right. I get that. Jesus said so. You strive for perfection, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. However, as it pertains to a metric, sir, if there is no room for improvement, that means they reached the highest score in the rating system. But that didn't happen. Okay. That was my history with this particular company. I was slightly not surprised that I was dealing with it By this point, 8 years later. Okay. Yes. I'm a loyal worker. What can I say? Either way, moving on. I was Black at work. And as much as I had gone through working and doing other people's job, training other people to do a job that then they'd get paid more for, and I know plenty of you know about that or have heard about it. Yes, that's something else that happens. That's a microaggression. You're going to tell me at a lower pay rate, I have to then train someone else so that they can do what it is that I've been doing this whole time for free, and they're going to get several thousands of dollars more. Got it. Just so happens I'm Black, right? I'm Black. They weren't. Got it. So I go in this particular day in which I was told to consider myself the help, right? Of course, consider yourself the help. Makes sense? Okay. Why did you have to use that verbiage? Why did you have to use that verbiage? I don't know. But when it's all said and done, I literally told this person before that came out of their mouth that I am concerned, I am concerned that I continue to do multiple jobs, not get paid until there's something else that is so-called requiring my expertise for which I continue to not get paid for, right? Well, unfortunately, when I said what I said, this person, knowing I had a doctorate degree, went to school for 11 years. 11. That is not a number, but it is a number. I went to school for forever and worked just as hard as the next doctor. Minus a medical doctor, because I didn't have to do all that other stuff, but that's neither here or there. I was a doctor when I was told, I was a doctor and I was Black. So I still was just one of those Black folks, okay? And I was told in response to my concerns of being asked to do multiple jobs for which I was not going to get paid for, they had no intention of paying me for, consider yourself the help. Shané, maybe you just need to consider yourself the help. That's actually how it went down, y'all. That's really actually how it went down. And I sat there for a minute. Do y'all know how angry I was? I was angry for 2 reasons. Or I should say, I was angry on 2 different levels. One, angry at the fact that this Caucasian male told me, a Black doctor, that I should consider myself the help. The help. The second layer of anger and pissedness, yes, I don't think that's a word, but pissedness is what I was dealing with, was that I was so angry that tears began to come down my eyes in that moment in front of this man because I was so angry. And I was angry that I didn't want him to confuse my tears for anything else. I was having an emotional moment. I was so overwhelmed. I was so hurt. I literally was traumatized. That wasn't the first time. That was not the first time. And unfortunately, many people in my position is, and will deal with racial trauma in one way or another. And just because a company does a statement, just because a company wants to say we have someone over diversity and inclusion, to me in my head, I'm like, yay, you got your token in the paper. Nice. Thank you. But what are you doing in the in-between, behind closed doors, after you let people know, oh yes, this Black person is important to our mission? Do they stay stuck in a certain pay bracket? Are they then considered just not able to be perfect, to get high marks on their performance appraisals and eligibility for bonuses? What are we doing? Sometimes we end up laughing to prevent from crying, but don't mistake the tears. Don't mistake the laughter, because some people have a little bit more grit and less to lose, right? We need to start treating people like people. If I'm a doctor, call me doctor. Oh, sidebar. I have literally sat in meetings as a doctor with other meetings in a boardroom, and everyone else is introduced by their status as doctor. But then when it's time for me, mind you, yes, I have sat at the table as a doctor, as the only Black person, only Black female at the table, and I've been called Shané. I swore you took every breath to ensure that we knew that everyone in the room was a doctor, but, Shanae's one of those Black folks. She's here. Thanks for being here. Appreciate the diversity and inclusion. What in the world is going on? I have also been in situations where I've been told to take my doctor credentials, the PsyD, that's me. I'm not an MD. Like I said, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a doctor of psychology. I'm an organizational development psychologist, for those that might be wondering, because I'm sure someone's going to listen to that. But just to be clear, I have obtained my doctorate in psychology, swore to an oath, and I became a doctor. And I literally was asked, after obtaining my doctorate, when I put it on my signature line in my email in this said company, I was told to take it off so it wouldn't confuse anybody. Excuse me. When we're talking about confusion, we're confusing who? Not patients. Not patients. Because guess what? We're not allowed to email patients because of, security reasons. Typical reason. Well, I was told to take it off. Why? Why is it that, this is going to be even better. You guys are going to love this. I was even told by another Black person who was new to the organization, who was in a sort of mid-management role, that they were told that they should connect with me. Totally different department, right? Totally different department. But I was told by this person, oh, so you're Shané. Again, I'm just Shané. Just one of those Black folks, right? That Shané was the person that she needed to talk to. Why? She needed to hang out with me. She needed to see why I'm considered, and I kid you not, I was considered the type of Black girl that they like sitting at the table. Wow. So you mean to tell me that we're making up microaggressions? That we're just all of a sudden in our head about this, and we're just overthinking it and over-identifying with something that happened 60-something odd years ago. Black lives, blue lives, dog lives. Like, really? Really? I just want to say, for those of you in the back, I am not just one of those Black folks. I'm one of them Black folks that's a doctor, and you're required to address me as such just because. Yep. Just because. Just because. We need to get to a place, y'all, truly. We need to get to a place where we are really understanding how deep this runs. In the work that I do, even presently, I'm still talking with people that are in major industries, major organizations that can literally tell you or describe to me that they're experiencing not only discrimination and things like that, but they're being gaslit. Look that up, y'all. Gaslighting happening from employer, like the manager, to the employee, leaving folks confused and unable to clearly do their job because they're being told that their job is one thing 1 minute and then it's another job another minute, and then they just stuck in this twilight zone. Would someone please help me understand what to do? What are we doing? I really want to push you guys because I'm really at as much time as I was going to dedicate to this particular episode. I'm at the point where I'm just like, just start talking, just start exploring, just start getting to know people. We are on a pursuit of peace. We are on a pursuit of peace. Let's pursue it intentionally. Let's create spaces that are built on the grounds of inclusion and diversity, not put into a department. How about we just, treat each other like humans, human to human? How about we thread into the fibers of our system the protocols and procedures that don't allow discrimination to thrive? Just a thought. So I'm coming to you guys pretty raw today. Pretty raw. And it's literally because that's where life is. We're still in this pandemic, soon to be called, if not already on someone's desk, being called an endemic, meaning it's just like the flu. COVID isn't going anywhere. For those of you that were looking for things to get back to normal, no, we need to deal with the reality of it. We're seeking peace. We're seeking an even playing ground. We are seeking the ability to live in peace. I'm not the help. No. I'm Dr. Shané. And if you want to say I'm one of those black folks, yeah, I'm one of those black folks that went on to get a degree and then another degree and then another degree so that I can possibly have a voice and not be considered the help. I hope y'all learned something. I hope you guys, can relate. Let me know if you want to reach out and talk further. I'm more than willing. There's more to the story. There's more to life too. But I'm here. I appreciate you guys. Join me again in a couple of weeks. We're going to be talking about microaggressions. We're going to dig into it just a little bit more. All right? You take care. Be safe. Wash your hands. Keep distance. Don't let the world manipulate you. COVID is still alive and well, while it's killing off a lot of our loved ones. So please, 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 with my whole heart, take care. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.